So you have an enterprise grade credential infrastructure, which is actually helping you talk about two most important part of it, right? The most important part is you have a life cycle and then you have blockchain authenticity, right? So first and most important part is that the capability the credential ecosystem is driving is the life cycle governance. That means you're actually automating the workflows, you're actually automating the renewal to revoke workflows, and revoke workflows are extremely important even you are using like a amazing technologies like blockchain, because we all are humans, we may make mistakes, and then we also want to revoke the issued certificate and the credentials which are getting expired or some reason we want to take it back, right? So important is that we are actually trying to enforce the system, which is a policy driven system, right? We're actually providing the access which can be fully complied. So you have a role based control, which actually making sure that your issuance life cycle, you have a right user who is actually driving it. And then you actually want to make it is real time available, because you want to check your certifications are verified within your ecosystem, and then it reflects the current truth of the verification as well. So that's what the credential lifecycle governance will solve for us. The second and most important key part of it is the blockchain, right? Now, why blockchain? And Ben has briefly mentioned about the immutability. We want to make sure that everything that we are issuing, it's a tamper resistance and independent trust, which is a tamper proof. That means you cannot delete it, you cannot edit it, you can have an authenticity when you are actually enforcing through a cryptographic issuance. That means your integrity stays till the network stays alive. Technically, it stays alive for a lifetime, right? So this creates the durable trust. Even if the system changes, you're actually changing from one source system to another system. You can literally prevent the fraud. You can drive the overall process, because these two capabilities are actually enhancing the governance and authenticity. So that's where the credential systems are extremely important. And next, what we want to focus is on how it will be helpful for verification and audit readiness. So if you can see, as you drive it, instant verification is extremely important, because no one wants to, wait for an email to come. Then, you just want to have a text. Hey, where is my certification? Is it verified? Is it working fine? Everybody wants right away certifications, verification. So this is where the operational frictions are drastically, reducing. So we are actually trying to reduce, instead of email requests, instead of registration queues, registrars queues, manual back and forth, we want to drive a value to the customers and the companies that matters the most for them, right? And then we also want to make sure that we are fully compliant. So when you want to scale the credentials ecosystem, you want a system which is having a compliance readiness, but then it is a live scalable system. So you can have a dashboard, you can have a audit reports, you can have a end-to-end lifecycle management where you're actually reviewing and checking it in and out. And then as we will go further, we'll talk about a lot of end-to-end integration we have it also. Like Ben has mentioned, right after this call, you're going to have the certificate of participation, which is on the Certs 365. That means we have actually connected to the major system. And why I'm saying and implying this, because you already have a lots of system up. You are working with the Zoom, Webex, you're talking about ClickMeeting, HubSpot, Zapier, Notion, Livestorm, ERP systems, Typeform, Microsoft Teams, you name the systems that you want to have it, and we connect it back with the instant verifications and the compliance as well. When you want to take it up and, like expand this conversation.
Yeah, no, no, I think it's good. Dave, keep going. Keep like here. I put up some slides on what our solution looks like. Right, we went
Oh,
through the five pillars. You took us through, those four capabilities, right? Lifecycle governance, blockchain anchored, right? Blockchain being this kind of public verifiable ledger, right? Instant verification, compliance and audits. What are we seeing here?
This is an amazing piece. So you see, you're seeing the system live right now, and maybe I'm sure you're fortunate. You can have a taste drive platform as well, and team is going to share you the credentials to play with. Maybe a platform is actually providing a dashboard where you can see the governance end to end. So you see, governance is not just about the control, but it's about the visibility. So we want to bring a visibility to you by having the platform which is actually providing an analytics, which is actually providing it the templates, which is actually providing the pre-built structure to accelerate and deploy. Everybody in the age of AI wants to, have a alive and kicking solution which is having a templatized way. The platform is being positioned here as not a passive repository, right? It's an actual and operating system and governance system where you can literally see an analytics, you see what's going where, how you can literally see the things are. And if you can move to the next slide as well, when you can see the another glimpse of the platform where actually see the enterprise grade integration, like I mentioned. You have a different organizations will have a different rules, credentials, ecosystems, lifecycle policies. We actually connect it back seamless, right? So you can see that we are talking to multiple systems which are already out there, and then we can literally connect it back to your existing system as well, right? So we are flexible. It just, like you want to drive an integration with your system, like Ben has lastly mentioned, your LMS platform, your SIS environment, your compliance tool. You name the tool and we connect it and give you the responses back, and then you can literally play along the system as well. So a credential platform which literally talks to your system without giving overhead to integrate, etc. It's just a pluggable integration. So this is how the credentials move from a standalone output to an enterprise infrastructure digital system, right? So when you integrate it, align it, it becomes part of your live operational trust. And Ben uses this word called trust fabric, which is rather than a disconnected admin process. So we definitely want to make it super simple for you. And if you can go to the next slide, then we want our team to understand that how it literally helps. So when you have administration tool which is actually talking to your system, the traditional model is saying, extremely verification is slow. We are actually doing manually. We are waiting for an email. And then we want to have an audit process which requires a lot of manual audit of data, who has done past, what, etc. And then there is a huge risk of the frauds as well. And then you do not control any life cycle over the execution process. And then you need to do a lot of manual work. When you actually sit with the Search 365, it actually talks to your system, and then it take it to the next level. So we have a verification which becomes highly instant, almost live it is. Audit preparation, so you can pull out the data, you can literally reduce the frauds that are happening. And then we actually want to make a reporting which is a continuous and a live reporting for you. So the credential stops being an administrative burden to becomes an institutional trust asset is what the Search 365 is trying to do. And we want to make sure that this actually help become an institutional model, so that we reduce the number of hours that we used, and most of the credential process is fully automated, verifiable,